A very warm good afternoon, good morning, according to the place where you're located, including our honorable keynote speakers of the day, Dr. Haribabu Tamineni, Professor of English and the Vice Principal at Lendi Institute of Engineering and Technology, Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. Mr. Srinivas Akela, Mathematics Department Chair and a teacher at Warren County Schools in Georgia, USA. Correspondent and Secretary of Alvadas Group of Educational Institutions, Dr. S.P.H. Rajendra. Principal of our institution, Dr. M. Ramji. Dignitaries, colleagues, research scholars, my dear students. Well, I'm Dr. M. Kasulama, the head of English department. Take the privilege to welcome you all on this very thoughtful session. I would request everyone to be with us until the session ends because it will definitely enhance your understanding towards the need of the hour, employability skills, as well as the certifications required. And before that, I also would like to heartfully thank all the participants to participate such enthusiastically. We have got such a huge number. As you know, we had an event just before 1 week, and then also the participation was very, very good with Dr. Mohana Chayulu sir. Maybe he's there with us today. And this time we have got a wonderful number. It is 1,870 in total. And thank you so much. And also, I would like to just inform you that the feedback forms will be shared towards the end of the session in the chat box itself and in the WhatsApp groups also. And coming to the certificate, you can download only through the DigiLocker. That information also will be shared in the WhatsApp groups. So now I would like to request our correspondent and secretary of Alvadas Group of Educational Institutions, Dr. S.P.H. Rajendra sir, to address on this event, please. Sir, it's over to Rajendra sir.
Thank you, Kasu. Professors, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to extend a very warm welcome on behalf of Sanketika Vidya Parishad Engineering College. And we are grateful to Professor Dr. Haribabu Tamineni and Professor of English and Vice Principal of Lendi Institute of Engineering and Technology, and Professor Srinivas Akela, Department of Mathematics and a teacher at Warren County Schools, Georgia, USA. And I also welcome all the participants for this event. I mean, it is very surprising, and I mean, I appreciate the organizers, to get a large number, about 1,820. That's pretty good. And I mean, I really congratulate them on this occasion. And the topic chosen also, certification versus employability skills, which I think, it is the in thing today. A lot of people are wondering which is better, whether the certification or the employment skills. And a lot of deliberations have been taking place on this. And I mean, my own feeling, because employability skills are the one which is taking people forward. But I think at the end of the day, the keynote address speakers would give us a better understanding on these two subjects. The deliberations and the seminar, I hope it would reach to the appropriate audiences. And finally, would like to compliment the organizers of this webinar for their initiation and making this a memorable event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Let me proudly introduce our first keynote speaker, who is currently working as a professor of English and vice principal at Lendi Institute of Engineering and Technology, Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh, India. He is none other than Dr. Haribabu Tamineni. He's been teaching English language and literature to both undergraduate and postgraduate students since 23 years and has conducted many research development workshops. He has research interests, basically Indian English drama, English for specific reason purposes, online language learning and discourse analysis. And Coming today, today, sir is going to enlighten us on the availability of job opportunities, certifications, basically on awareness to support learners in their career explorations and decision making. Now, over to Dr. Haibabu Tamineni, sir, who is the navigator of the flagship of knowledge. Sir, please.
Thank you so much, Kasu ma'am. At the outset, I really congratulate SVH Sanketika Vidya Parishad to come forward in this pandemic situation to give away this kind of a wonderful opportunity for the professors like us, as well as the participants who have come across our nation, even outside the nation. My special thanks to Rajendra sir, whom I definitely be indebted to, as he was the one, an interesting source of inspiration for Sanketika group of institutions for the past many years, who has relentlessly putting a wonderful effort in carrying it forward well. This webinar is also one such kind of an interesting initiative. I really appreciate Ma'am Kasu, who has been thoroughly following various kinds of ideas and what best that is suiting to the present day needs. She tried, and then she has put this opportunity before us to talk about employability skills in comparison with certifications. Well, friends, all of us might be knowing very well, it is employability in comparison with certifications. Always one goes hand in hand with the other. Both of them, in my opinion, are a couple of eyes of a personality. There are a series of questions which have come from students in my little career, and so many of my close associates, and then some of the colleagues were asking me, what is better to be given away as skill for one to be quite employable? This is $1 million question for always, especially for me always. It's $1 million question. Of course, thanks to Kasu ma'am, who has brought this with an answer. And this talk is primarily addressing on this agony behind of most of the students, and then most of the colleagues who have asked me several times. What is employability? How do I get employed? And in what way, what job that is suiting to me? How is that I'm going to make a good attempt when situation that arises? Since I'm working in an engineering college, always, post-engineering undergraduation, especially in India, there is a fashion. Taking up an opportunity to work for a while and then understanding the realities of the job and its prospects. Each individual loves to go ahead. So this is what the background of this talk altogether. And I hope I am sounding, and I am also making a sense to the very topic line, certifications versus employability skills. On one hand, now in my talk, I can talk the importance of employability skills, and I also can take you forward what is that recruiters really are expecting in terms of certifications. Post my talk, my good old friend, Mr. Vasu from USA, being a mathematics teacher, but his love is there towards consultancy and giving away what all the best that he has known to the society back. He, from Visakhapatnam, worked much time in India, and around 2 decades ago, he went back to US, and he tries to bring into the fold, saying how employability is to be practiced. So this is what the whole little idea of what this 1 hour talk all about. And I now slowly take you forward to my presentation. And I'm now sharing it. Maybe it takes a little extra time. I'm trying to share it once again. Okay. Yeah. Hope I'm able to give you the view of my presentation. Maybe a rich word that is showing it to you as promising pathways. Hope I'm able to give you an idea of what exactly employability altogether. Friends, you might have noticed several times in the media or in the print media or public, you might have noticed there are a lot of issues that are coming up when employability, a little magical word that comes into the mind. There are thousands of negative statements, but we don't want to take them up. There are, couple of statements which really disturb our attention, being teachers, being trainers, as well as being learners. So one such kind of experience that I also had, so I wanted to put those little experiences before you. So let me show it to you. Promising pathways. Sorry is a strategic tool. Hope I am giving you. Are you ready for the dive? Even in Telugu, we have Bhasha Bagunte, offer Andinatle. What a fantastic idea this is. When your language is wonderful, you are able to get a wonderful opportunity in turn. Yeah, sometimes there are bigger articles that are found. Your job that you have lost just within a very common little mistake that you have committed. Where are you exactly at your readiness for employability? Similarly, C4. Are you careful? Is your communication well? Are you committed? Are you curating? Look at how sensibly how sensibly even mass media or social media or print media is getting ready. A new role to drive change. Chief Innovation Officer. We have heard CEO and now CIO. There are various separate qualitative ideas coming up, especially in the name of employability. And this is where I wanted to stop you a while with a galore of pictures that I have shown to you. There are dots one side, and your attention is being seen. Right side, you have dots got connected. Friends, I think you might have noticed how interestingly these dots are there and how these dots are connected. And maybe you might have noticed something in your mind is asking you a question. What is this gentleman trying to do? I'm connecting the dots. Once you know these dots are connected, what all the information that we have. I truly love this picture. A couple of years ago, when some of the kids in our classroom playing with these dots, and I felt like, okay, it is interesting to be taken into my presentation. So I tried putting before you the dots that we have, which gives us information. The dots then that get connected, that is knowledge. Maybe I can put an important discussion before you. Information versus knowledge. Maybe certification versus employability. Friends, you all know employability skills are nothing but skills, attitude, and qualities that one should have to get and to keep a job effective. But you know, there is a myth in the mind. Once you get an employment, a person is going to stuck within it. And it's only a myth. Earlier days it was true, but you know, at this point of time, it is not absolutely correct, I feel. My presentation for other 10-15 minutes will quickly make you run through these important ideas. Employability and its characteristics, how to build employability skills, and what are those certifications which are slipping away our attention. In fact, you know, certificates that are different from what we really feel the certifications. So my talk quickly can present you these little ideas like how employability having its own characteristics and what is that one has to do to develop employability skills, and how and why we are really missing these certifications. Friends, you and I might have already appeared before universal employability skills. There are variety of skills which are echoed in our mind like anything. Even our parents who have taught us by naming Lord Krishna is one of the best examples for the benefit of developing your employability. Even our granny has said, life skills are employability skills. Look at those skills, how many that are being shown barely on the screen, asking us, are we ready? Are we having these? Are we really dependable? Do we have reliability? Are we really showing our responsibility, or we get ready that we are really dependable? Morality and integrity. Look at, these are all believed to be universal employability skills. Universally, it is not here or it is outside. Everywhere we have these skills which are quite commonly taken as employability skills. Loyalty, professionalism. Look at those terms which are really ringing in ears very well, even after having some 10 years of service that we put up. Are we really loyal? Do we have professionalism? Right? These are believed to be universal employability skills. In my opinion, employability is something like having and using life skills and abilities to be put together and to be put for hiring, and to be hiring and then stay hired and stay hired. Employability is nothing but exhibiting our skill and ability for the need-based situation. This is the truth. It is not that one has to stick almost for years together in one job, but even if it is one job, most people change careers at least 5 to 7 times in their lives. You know what they do generally? The best part of their experience in one part of the career is presented in the next part of the career. That is the real employability, I feel. It is nothing but one part of the career, what all the positive qualities that one has learned, they start giving away, they start presenting away those positive qualities in the next part of their employability. And it is something like how effectively we are communicating, how effectively we are working with others, how well that we are working for the satisfaction of clients, customers, and then patients and users, whatnot. In the employability, we all have how well communicating matters. And are we meeting the responsibilities at work? So these are some of the important characteristics that we have employed, that we have developed in course of employability. And in my opinion, what is employability? To put it in very brief, I have written just a sentence: knowledge in a specific area. If you're a teacher, how well you are teaching. If you're a learner, how well you are learning. If you are a supervisor, how well you are supervising. If you are an electrician, you know wiring, then only you are known as an electrician. You're an auto mechanic, yes, you are supposed to know about how to repair an engine. It's like that, employability, in my opinion, it is something like a true knowledge, true sense of the knowledge that you have developed in a specific career. And you know, these are all some of the important characteristics of employability. Do you have positive attitude? Yeah, positive attitude is nothing but criticizing always the others' FIRs or getting ready, not taking at least what is the other's FIR altogether. No, positive attitude is not to criticize others and getting ready, taking up anything that is coming forward towards us. Such way there are cooperativeness, accepting and using feedback, flexibility, leadership. Yeah, leader versus boss. We have learned much in all our career building. And sometimes we fail to be known as leaders because of the bossism that has been developed in our career. So these are some of the interesting characteristics that the employability has made altogether. In my opinion, to build these employability skills, one has to get ready how to resolve conflicts, how to make oneself ready, setting some interesting academic goals. And by being quite active, when you are a learner, I can see today there are many who never care for their active performance or active participation in any other area except in education. In my opinion, to build your employability skill, it's more important while you are learning, try to take part of some club activities which are widely available today everywhere. In colleges like us, we have SAC Center, Student Activity Center, cyber security issues, where most of the learners are needed to have a pertinent research to be continued there. There are team sports, and then pick a book, which has come up now so seriously. There are various clubs which are being started. So try to be active in a club and participate in some form of community service. Not me, but you. That service motto is missing in several cases, especially we are getting ready with our certificates, and then we are getting ready to be employable, and only on one angle we are getting ready to get ourselves hired by not having these important practices one side. Friends, I feel these are some of the important skill sets that one has to develop in order to develop employability skill. And slowly, if I take you forward for the goals, you know goal is also another important area that one has to get ready to be employable. Career related goals, you need to put one goal at least. You need to get ready in understanding what are the resources that are available for you to accomplish the goal. You also have to check what kinds of skills and abilities that one career related goal is to be reached. And it's more important, you need to be quite specific, like the picture that I have put before you. You must be closed with all your opinions aside, and then you need to state exactly what you want to accomplish. You also have to get ready, believing yourself that you have got a lot of skill and ability, or looking at what abilities that are missing, and then what is that you have to really get ready for those abilities to be developed. Still, you haven't chosen a career? Please keep these in your mind. Set goals for academic achievement. Maybe in this semester, I have to be a topper. Maybe at the end of this year, I wanted to get A grade. Try to volunteer. There are a lot of volunteering things. Get ready to have how things come into your possession. Maybe act like a head of your family for a month. That is volunteering. Even if somebody doesn't give you You need to pick it up. Research different types of careers. It's more important not only one or two careers which are waiting for us. There are thousands of careers. Soon after this pandemic situation has arrived, into language today, it is not alone English language. French has come into picture. Latin has come into picture. Japanese. Japanese are running around Indians to have Japanese language to be learned. So building skills and abilities, that is anyway there. Yeah, it's more important. If you haven't chosen a career, you don't have a right to waste money. And you may not earn money, but try to save money to earn money. So kindly look into that. A career plan, naturally, what happens, you need to career plan is something like putting a map before you, like how Google puts a map before us for a destination to be reached. Try to write some interesting statement for your career planning. For example, I'll be an occupational communicational trainer in corporate by the time I reach 30. Fantastic. This is a very strong, and then it has got a destinational map, and you also can work on it. So, short-term goals. For that, 30-year-old gentleman wanted to have his own career goal to be reached. It is a short-term goal. You need to keep in your mind to be a communicational trainer. You better have A in communication classes. Try to volunteer. It's not all of a sudden that comes. You need to involve in how one has to learn, or one has been sharing one's life skill set or soft skill set. Practice as a volunteer there in that center. Research and see that how many bodies which are coming forward giving away some certifications. Even communication today has a certificate. Though it is abstract, though it is not that easy to make one communicatively strong and then communicatively permanent with its grade, you have certain communicative certifications. Generally, what happens, friends, we are we are very much interested, inclined towards procrastination. Plans they change over time. Yesterday you wanted to be a lawyer, today you wanted to be an engineer. And maybe tomorrow you wanted to be a teacher. No problem. Always, when you have set goals, when you cannot reach them well, when you feel that you are not able to reach them well, see that there should be a plan B ready always. It's more important. So, trade-offs for all this employability readiness, what is that we have to really put as our business? What is our business, in fact? Kindly give up one thing to get something else. Yes, kindly focus on things that are most important. Create your own opportunities and get ready like this boy who is putting his hands up towards the sky, putting sky as a limit. And this is what employability. Quickly, let's see some couple of interesting videos that always makes me understand, or makes me. Let me just put this one. Yeah. Um, this video is again to be shared, I believe. At least we see one video. I can stop sharing the window and I'll come back again. Give me a moment, I'll come back again to share this video again. This is one of the best videos that always tempts me to ask what others say, especially about employability. Hope you are able to see. It is customer awareness. It is problem solving. It is critical thinking. Yeah, it is how. It is how, with so many skills that you have, that an employer misses, that an employer say no to it. So such a way, the employability skills that are imagined by others differently. So I can reshare the presentation again. Where I would like to take you to the last part of my talk. You know, when you wanted to have these skills, when you wanted to have these skills, when you have these many skills, when somebody who cannot say no for your employability. So let's see certifications which they actually look at you. Some of the recruiters who always be fond of what is exactly a certification that they feel is this. You know, they can make a lot of difference, but of course I cannot assure you that this is only the certification which makes you or which puts you through the employability. But you know, these are some of the certifications which usually recruiters wanted to see in the candidates who are getting ready to be hired. You know, you are supposed to have a look on this. There are three varieties of certifications which are available: role specific, software certifications, communication certifications. You know, when you have seen my presentation, role specific and communication are at one mode of the position, and software it is in the other mode of the position. Some vertical, some horizontal. You know, you are expected to have these certifications if at all you are looking for certain careers as your major. Role specific, you have human resources certifications, PHR, SPHR, professional HR, and specifically professional HR. Like that, we have project management certifications, sales certifications. You know, we are looking at only one end, that there are quite often we have opportunities only either in IT or in teaching. But you know, there are many even in management, right? Similarly, we have software. You know, Salesforce is one which is coming up like anything for the past 1 year, 2019 onwards. Salesforce has become a bigger hub, which is giving us IT certifications, you know, Google certifications, and AWS, Amazon Web Services, which is giving opportunity also. So similarly, in the communication, we have Cambridge's Business English certification, one of the world's most popular certification. Sometimes, you know, it is directly giving an opportunity to get into some of the companies openly. We have QAI's GETS Global English certification, and we have British Council SAPGES. And recently, I have come across there is a AI speech coach. It is very interesting. If at all one who gets ready understanding what to do for my communication to be developed, and you know, an artificial intelligence based speech coach is there in your hands. If at all you love to see, maybe post to my talk, you may browse through this Orai. It's an app which is giving you how best that you can talk, what is really behind in your what you call quality of your speech. All that is being presented here. So finally, why choose certifications? I have put up one model. If at all you love to go ahead outside of this India, if you can prefer taking up Cambridge's BEC, which boosts your employability, which also makes you know what is English language as a skill that really needs for the job opportunities, it teaches you. or it tells you, or it makes you put into practice. And there are wide variety of companies which accept these certifications as part of your career interview. So like this, these certifications help you like anything. And I hope I have put you through what exactly the whole idea of this presentation altogether about employability skills. And I now myself calm as I've been given time to be silent by 2:55. I think I have maintained time. It is one of the best qualities of what you call employability. And I hope I'm now up, and I wait for the questions. And maybe Kasu ma'am will be back again and to take us forward.
Thank you so much, sir. That was a magnificent lecture. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ma'am. Namaste for all of you. I'll wait for the questions
You have
to be
asked. No. We'll be coming back. So next keynote speaker, Mr. Srinivas Akhela. Mr. Srinivas Akhela is a mathematics and he is a member of the Georgia State Superintendent's Teachers Advisory Council. The Georgia State Senate passed a proclamation recognizing Mr. Srinivas Akhela for his valuable contribution to education. He plays an important role as a district leader as well as school leader. And Mr. Akhela was awarded the prestigious Teacher of the District in 2014 and was recognized with the state governor and state superintendent. He also was Teacher of the Year 3 times in the same school. He wears several hats in his school, from bringing graduation committee chair and honors day awards committee chair to the head of house system. Mr. Akhela has been an educator for 25 years. And now he's going to discuss about employability skills, the skills one should develop and be prepared in the job market, and also apprise about the best practices in US schools and colleges. And now over to Mr. Akhela, a man of wisdom and experience. Sir, please.
Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. Good morning for me, and good afternoon for everyone. First of all, let me say thank you to Sanketika Engineering College for giving me this opportunity to share what I feel and discuss what I feel, what I have applied in my life. And thank you, Madam Kasu, Dr. Kasu, for getting in touch with me and giving me this opportunity to share my ideas about this interesting topic. And I can tell you from my experience how important these employability skills are. So before we get started, this is what I want to do. So as you can see, to introduce myself, I'm a math teacher at a high school in Georgia, and I've been here for almost 14 years in the United States. One thing that I have learned that's kept me going is communication. And trust me, it wasn't easy to come to a different country and prove your skill, because if you're coming from a different country, you have to double your employability skills. You have to better your communication so that you can compete with the local teachers or the people or the employees that are working along with you. So before we begin, I want to show an interesting video that I always like. So let's start with this. A food for thought. Okay. So as you can see, we are preparing, we are getting ready for a future that we don't know what's coming to us. We are getting ready for job market, which we don't know what's up there. Who would have thought 15, 20 years ago how the information technology would revolutionize the current situation? So as a graduate, as young adults, always think about it. You are getting ready for a course, for a curriculum, for a certification that you don't know anything about. You are preparing yourself for a job market, for a kind of a job that is not existing at this point of time. Now, a very interesting data that I just was looking at, and this was a data from Statistica by the data journalist Katharina Baloch, and this is what she says. She says 90% of Indian engineers lack the key skills. Yes, you are an engineer. Yes, you have a certification, but where are the skills? Now, I'm not just saying it's just in India, but if you compare with China, China is right at that point. US is also struggling with the same concepts, with the same graduates lacking those key skills for employment. So something to think about. What do we do? How do we get employable? And I think the previous presenter, Dr. Hari Babu, gave a very good insight about what are needed to get into employment. What are the skills that we need or we need to develop to be employable? So I was researching about the definition of employability, and this is what it says. Employability refers to the attributes of a person that makes that person able to gain and maintain employment. So it's just not getting an employment, but it's also to maintain the employment. And I would add to that and say, how do you grow after you get into a job? Do you want to be stuck in that job, in that position for a longer period of time? Or do you want to explore? Or do you want to go forward? Do you want to go beyond what you are at this point of time? So when people talk about employability, yes, they do tell you what are the most important employability skills, or what does one need to get employment? Definitely, they'll tell you problem-solving skills. You must have a great teamwork. You got to have the best communication skills. You should have a leadership. You should be able to initiate. You should be flexible. You should be adaptable, and you should have the best interpersonal skills. So what I did is I actually put them into the 4 C's. And these are the skills that the 21st century is looking for. These are the skills that the 21st century is asking for the young graduates or the young adults to have when they go into the job market. C is communication. And what is communication? You have to have a clarity of how you are presenting yourself. You have to have the clarity of sharing your thoughts. You should have the clarity of finding the ideas, of presenting your ideas, and sharing and finding solutions to that. Bottom line, you should be able to present yourself in a clear and a crisp way. And then the next C, the second C, is collaboration. How good are you with working with people? You're not going to be sitting in a job where you'll be by yourself, but you have to work with a team of people. How do you work with your colleagues? How do you work with other people? And how do you get along with them and get the job done? The next important C is critical thinking. So how good are you at looking at problem, understanding the problem, and finding a solution to this problem? So yes, we do have a lot of times we pose a question, but we don't think about how would I solve this question? How would I solve this problem? So the critical thinking piece comes into play, and it's a very important piece where you have to start thinking beyond and ask yourself what is the solution for this problem. And then the fourth C that I would say is creativity. How creative are you? Are you what is new so that you are going to you're bringing to the table? So with that being said, now with all these four C's, what you have to develop, and when you develop these four C's, you are actually you have a better chance of getting employed, or you have actually met most of the requirements that an organization is looking for. But the question is, how do we get these skills? Does it happen in a day? No, it won't. Now, before we get into how do we get into these skills, the first important thing that I want to get your attention to is to this famous quote that I love and I share with all my students. Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. Look at the depth of this slide. It's telling you, yes, you have to love your job. And what happens when you love your job? When you love your job, you are passionate about your job. And when you're passionate about the job, you give all your energy into the job. You put all your focus into the job. And when you do that, you're giving out you're the best. You're giving out the best out of you, and you become more productive at that point. So it's very important that you love a job that you want to work for. Now, how do we know what kind of a job do I like? How do we know what job am I interested in? What am I good for? So the first thing that you should always be doing, and this is good for this needs to start at a very early age. And what we do in our schools, and we start this almost in the middle school, at 6th grade or 7th grade, we start doing this. We offer the students a career aptitude test. You can Google this. You can find plenty of career aptitude tests. I just listed a few to share with you today, but there are plenty of aptitude tests. Now, what these aptitude tests will do, the aptitude test will, once you take the test, it will give you a variety of areas that fit to your skill set or that suits your personality. And those aptitude tests, or the results from the aptitude test, will be very helpful to determine which path you want to go. So like I said, this needs to start very early at high school, or maybe go back in the middle school in 6th grade, 7th grade. If you can do that, that's the best thing to do. So again, what do you enjoy and what do you want to do? So a good balance of what you do and what you enjoy will take you a long way in your employability. Now, what are the different things I can do once I know that, okay, this is what I'm getting into a college, this is what I want to do? How do we build our skills? How do we build our employability skills? What should I be doing? One thing I would suggest is sign up for internships. Look for opportunities in your area, in your city, where the organizations are offering you positions as a trainee. They may not pay you, but I'm telling you, trust me, that opportunity is worth taking it. What will it give to you? It'll give you the work experience that you need, and the opportunity will build your skills in that field. Also, you will explore the different roles in the organization, and you might be interested in one kind of a job, but once you get into the organization, you might see a different opportunities or a variety of jobs that might interest you. and you might change what you might be what you wanted to do. So what do we do at our school? Now, in our school, in our colleges in United States, they offer a program called Capstone Projects. Now, what does the Capstone Project do? I can share what I do with my students at our high school, 11th and 12th graders. So these students have a capstone project, and these students have to go and go to a job session. They have to choose a job. They have to go spend a day or two with the person at the job setting, and learn and see and observe how the job is going, or how this person is doing the job. So that internship will help you to understand the job better. Also, it's going to open up your eyes. It's going to tell you, hey, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, or maybe not. So once you decide this is what I want to do, or this is what I don't want to do, probably you can look for some other opportunity that may interest you better. So very important that you sign up for internships. One thing I would also vouch for is take a job, take a part-time job, take a summer job. What do you do in your summers? Take a job. Now, what does summer job give you? Summer job gives you the opportunity, it gives you the work experience, of course, and it also teaches you the most important skills needed for employability, which is discipline, which is work ethics, which is punctuality. It'll teach you how to manage money. Now, a lot of young adults don't know how to manage money. They're very poor with money management skills. So a job will give you all those skill sets. Now, don't be shy of taking a job at a restaurant. Don't be shy of taking a job in a small company. Don't be shy of doing any kind of job. Whatever you do, it may not be what you want to do for the rest of your life, but take up a job, a small job that will teach you some skills to better yourself when you are out there in the market. And also, there are so many online jobs. So if you don't want to go out, the best way is to go out and work, interact with people, and that's how you're building your communication as well. There are opportunities for you to do online sessions. You have blogs. You can respond to the blogs. You can talk to people. Now, this is a global market. You can interact with people in the United States. You can interact with people in Japan. You can talk to people in Europe, or you can talk to people in Africa or Middle East. So use this opportunity. When we were growing up, we didn't have internet. So we didn't have this opportunity. The only resource we had was books or our teachers. So use the opportunities that you have, and please find a job. Get in touch with people. The other thing that I would tell you that's going to help you to build your skill set is volunteer. All you need to do is Google volunteering opportunities in Visakhapatnam, volunteering opportunities in Mumbai, volunteering opportunities in Delhi, in New Delhi. You will find plenty of opportunities. So get in touch with the organization that you find locally, and just let them know, I want to work, I want to help, I want to do this. Now, what does that opportunity give you? This opportunity explores you to get in touch with a variety of people from different fields, because there are a lot of people who are helping, who are working as a volunteer. So one, you're improving your communication skill. You are interacting with people. You gain knowledge about a lot of things that people discuss during your volunteering hours. So get in touch with people, and the more you talk to people, the more you interact with people, you are gaining more skills. Now, I saw something about the India Youth for Society. So there's an organization, so get in touch with them. Then the other best part about volunteering is that it gives you a sense of purpose. So it gives you a sense of belongingness in the community, in the place, in the area where you live. And it gives you immense satisfaction. And what does that satisfaction or skills or communication does? It improves your self-esteem, and that is what you need. That self-esteem gives you the right attitude. So when you have this right attitude and you are going for a job interview or you're going for an organization, you say, this is the job I want. All you need is to have that self-esteem to face that interview and get that job. So please volunteer and get that. That's going to take you a long, long way. Another piece that we never think about is start thinking about entrepreneurship. Now, what is entrepreneurship? Now, I don't have to explain what entrepreneurship is. Just start something. Do a little startup. I'll give you some examples about people who have done this. So we all know Microsoft CEO. We know Bill Gates, right? So Bill Gates and Paul Allen. Do you know what they did before they even started Microsoft? They had this idea about starting a company when they were very little, when they were in middle school. They were in 8th grade. And then they took this idea into high school. They went into 11th, 12th grade. They still had this idea with them. So that idea about starting a company, it actually began when they were so little. You know Mark Zuckerberg. He started Facebook. And when did he start Facebook? He started Facebook when he was in the 2nd year of college. Now, some people from India that have done great. I researched Deepak Ravindran. He's a founder of Quest Technologies. Now, he followed his passion into computers. He dropped out of engineering college. He didn't finish engineering, but you know how successful this guy is. There's Ankit Oberoi, who is the co-founder of AdPushup. Yeah, AdPushup is a optimization company which optimizes the ads. So he dropped out of college, and he felt, this is what he felt, this is what he says. He says, you don't have to be at college to learn something. The internet will teach you all. And that is so true. This is so important that you have to build your own skills in your way rather than having somebody to come to you and teach you the skills. Okay? Now, effective communication, very, very, very important. You should know what people should understand what you're trying to say. So how do you build that communication? There are programs in the city, or I'm not sure how things are, but trust me, my best example is me. I was a shy kid. I was a very shy kid when I was in high school. I was equally shy when I was in college, and because I didn't have anyone guide me. I didn't have anyone who told me this is what you need to do. This is how you build your skills. So my schooling did help me in some way, but that was only enough to understand, but it wasn't enough for me to go out to the market and present myself. So one program that I would suggest is called the Toastmasters program. The Toastmasters program is very, very, very helpful. It's going to build your communication. It's going to build your leadership skill. And it'll make you an overall person. It'll get you ready for what you are looking for, and have a good skill set that you really need to have an effective communication. Okay, so with that being said, this is what I want to leave with today. Bill Gates says, I choose a lazy person to do a hard job because a lazy person will find an easy way to do it. What a wonderful insight into what he says. Okay, so to sum up all this, please get into different activities. If you do not find opportunities, you create opportunities for yourself. You don't have a volunteering organization in your area, you start one. You don't have entrepreneurs, people who are giving you internship. Go get in. There's your college is not helping you, or get in touch with somebody in your college and tell them, hey, this is what I need. Or start a small job, start a small company. It won't hurt you. You may not be doing that for the rest of your life, but that starting a small company, this is the best time that you can be creative. And startup companies are the best companies, are the best way to go at this point of time. So one, you're not looking for somebody to give you employment, but you are creating employment for a lot of people. So think about what are the problems, what are the issues that you see in your little world, and come up with a solution, and that can become your startup company. So get involved, and start thinking. Thank you.
That was a marvelous lecture, sir. Thank you so much. Basically, I loved the sentence what you said. So can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Choose a job you love and you will never have to work. This was really very, yeah, very true actually. When you love your work, so you need not work. Very true. I mean, heartfully when we work, it would end this 10 years. And we were planning to have the question and answer session now. So I would request all the participants to pose their questions. Basically, to my wonder, I can see many compliments and very less of questions. Yeah, one question I can see that how can we execute soft skills among our rural students? I guess Hari sir can answer this question.
Okay. This is definitely my bread, definitely to be eaten first and then to be given away as an answer. Since I have come from a rural part of Andhra Pradesh, and then I emerged as one of the successful teachers. And I also have worked with a lot of rural students for the past 2 decades. Only one mantra in making rural students understand the value of soft skills, just giving away an opportunity to practice soft skill. It is more important the environment that we belong to makes a sense which is not easily understood by everybody. It is more important that you have to create an environment, push the students from rural community to get into it. One way, you trap them, kindly give more chances to be emulating yourself. It is our turn now to attract rural students by giving a lot of opportunities. One such kind of a practice that I undertake in Lendi Institute of Engineering and Technology. I make all teachers, even for a while, Kasu ma'am also worked with me. We were very fortunate in receiving young students come from rural parts of the Vizianagaram and its middle. We always never worry to receive them. So once we have received, once we have given them owning of the setting, naturally whatever that is put into practice, that slowly goes into their minds well. But for that, we require patience, and that too, teaching soft skill is not just a cakewalk, and it is not a piece of a cake to be eaten immediately. So we require little extra patience, and we also wanted little extra interesting planning. And above all, we need to set a wonderful environment for them to immediately emulate us. Thank you. I think I answered well.
Exactly, sir. Exactly. Very well said. Thank you so much. Now we have a next question. How it will be different about employment ability skills different from India when compared to other countries? I guess Mr. Akela only can say about that.
What I would say is communication is the key. So the skill set maybe a little different, or the requirement, it'll all depend on what kind of a job you're approaching to, but the most important skill is communication. So, and then you must adapt to the environment. So let's say you're moving to Canada, or you want to move to Australia, you want to move to the Middle East, or you want to move to United States. Pretty much now this world, as you know, it's a small, the world has become a small place. We are all connected with each other now. So gone are the old days where we don't know what was going on in the other part of the world, but we all know what's going on. Everyone has access to technology, access to internet, and we can easily understand each other. But the most important thing, or what I have seen, is communication, or effective communication, I would say, is one thing that distinguishes your ability or your skill set from other people. So if you are good at it, yes, you can shine, you can go up the ladder. But if not, yes, your certifications are important. I'm not saying anything against that. Yes, you get your education, but if you are having that effective communication, it can take you a long way, even in spite of having plenty of degrees and all, but you have no communication skill, I think you will be where you are.
Right. Yeah, next question we have, would you give us the details about Toastmasters?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Toastmasters.
Now, Toastmasters International is a program that was started in California, and this is a program that I've been a part of it, and I've been in the program for almost for the last 10 years now. I've been the president of the club. It's a small club where a group of people come in from a variety of fields. So they just meet one evening, once a week, and we have a set agenda that we follow. We have a planned or prepared speeches that we present, or one or two people present speeches. There is something called impromptu speaking. So there is a person who will run the impromptu speaking session. And there is a president for the club. There's a vice president for the club. So the whole program, on the entirety of it builds your leadership skills, because you're getting into this different leadership roles of a president, vice president, the secretary, or the sergeant at arms. At the same time, you're also getting an opportunity to speak in front of a small group of people. Now, that's where it all needs to start. Like I said, I was a very shy kid. But when you don't start speaking in front of a very small group, and you get comfortable with it, that's when you can explore yourself. You can go out and say, okay, I can speak now to a bigger group, a bigger audience. Or I can present myself. I can get my point right in front of the people. Or I can present it the way I want to say it. And now we all have our influence of mother tongue on us. So you know how our brain is working. Sometimes I feel when I'm talking in English, my brain is in the back end, it's working in my language. So it's actually translating everything so quick that I'm able to communicate and get it out. But I'm thinking in my language. So that sense is always there. So the program is a great skill. Now, if this is what I can offer to your college. If your college is interested, and even for Mr. Haribabu, if your college is interested, I can do some sessions for you. I can get you guys started, and one of you can take a lead.
Taking this as an opportunity, we would also like to announce, if at all Kasu ma'am and other teachers of this Milu of Visakhapatnam comes forward to start Toastmasters, definitely we would take the help of Srinivas. Other day when I was discussing Srinivas, he was also mentioning it about, particularly when Toastmaster comes in. Similar kind of practice that we also have undertaken a couple of years ago. Hindus Education Plus Club. So far, it went on very well, but for very few colleges which followed that in Hindus Education Plus Club activity. Similarly, Toastmasters, being it is an international one, brought in, it is wonderful.
Exactly, sir. Right. And the next question we have is, can work skill beat the communication skills? Hi, sir.
I'm so sorry to have a ready-made answer for this. Though the question is very simple, thanks, Mr. Abdul, who has shot at a wonderful bullet here. Can work skill be the communication skill? Sir, both of them are two different entities. Uh, I told you, but these two are the eyes of a face. No skill really beat the other one. It is just only a myth that the communication skill which brings a lot of opportunity, or when somebody who has got a wonderful core skill which bring an opportunity. A perfect semblance is more needed in any arena or environment. It is more important how well that you have presented all the skill of the core that you have, how well that you have brought out your capacity, particularly through some means of communication. Automatically, you are bright at communication. It's more, it's a myth in the minds of even students also. So often, students are under confusion. If they are very good at technology, it doesn't mean that they are not good at communication. It is definitely a mythical approach. If somebody who is very good at communication, he stops working in acquiring all the core skill set. So both of them are two different entities, sir, and both of them go hand in hand, sir. And never ever one skill beats the other. One skill supplements the other. And I always tell you, core skill is the first, and if communication skill is supplemented, and you'll be definitely a wonderful employable, and there'll never be a no for you from any recruiter. I think I sounded well, Abdul sir.
Can I add something to that, Dr.
Yes,
Hari?
you can. Maybe
Yes,
Kafu Math has to give.
yeah, work skill is great. Yes, you develop skills at your workplace. That is perfect. But what communication can add to it, a better communication, effective communication, would take you up the ladder. Now, you don't want to settle in a position where you are. So you want to move up the ladder. So you want to become a team leader. You want to lead an organization. So if you're thinking about moving up vertically, then that's what you should do. Is that communication will help you to take you forward to the higher ladder or higher positions, I mean.
Yes, next question we have is, what are the main barriers for Indian students to employ them in other countries? Akhila sir.
Wow. Okay. See, we are all very talented. Okay. And we are very hardworking. I'll tell you, very hardworking. We give more than what we are asked for. Very talented. Barriers, yes, the barriers would be that what we have to do is, whenever we are going to a new country, when we are migrating to a new country, we have to understand their culture. We have to study them first. We have to understand how the society works. So there can be a lot of barriers. There can be a lot of what I would call is a cultural shock that we might find, and I was a part of that. It was a cultural shock for me when I moved to United States, but slowly I studied the culture. I got connected with people, and how did I understand it? By talking to people. So coming in here is great. Everyone can come in. We all have the skill set to move or migrate to any place in the world. But again, what we do after that can be a barrier, or we can beat the barrier, and we can be a part of the community or part of the society. Get involved with people. Get involved. Let's say I'm in the United States. I cannot confine myself with only and say and go. I only want to talk to Indian people here. I should not be doing that. So I should be flexible enough to go and talk to anyone. So I have friends from all walks of life, so all color, all race, all creed. So go out. I volunteer. I volunteer in organizations locally. So get involved. And those barriers, yes, there are barriers, but those barriers can be easily overcome because we are very talented. We have all the skills. Develop it. If you don't have it, but I think we'll do pretty good. I don't see any challenge, but yes, there might be barriers, but we can overcome those.
Well said. Any more questions? I don't see any more questions.
Madam Kasu, I have already seen on YouTube live chat. One Mr. Vinod Kudre was asking about what kind of a certification is valuable for teachers in commerce. And I take it up to say as an answer for it. Sir, you may take it project management certifications, and you may also take one valuable certificate that is delivered from Cambridge, TKT, Teacher Knowledge Test. It is not just for commerce teachers alone. Any teacher who undertakes this one, and those who are already in teaching, if at all they take this Teacher Knowledge Test, would definitely help teachers to grow well by knowing teachers' quality and all that. In addition to that, there is Deepankar. Sir, how to overcome the handicaps of insufficient power supply for internet connectivity in rural and suburban areas? This is not a problem for only to India. Everywhere, the problem of internet and insufficient, inadequate infrastructural facilities. We have to see that how we are going to meet them. Our governments are also looking at it seriously. I have heard from one of my Gujarati friends, Gujarat government has come forward to give away tabs for a nominal cost to all the students soon after this pandemic situation. We hope, definitely these kind of initiatives that come up. And until then, being teachers, we have to support youngsters, understand it seriously. Yes, madam.
Yes, sir. Very well said. And the next question is, are there any online programs or workshops which can help us build our critical and communication skills during this pandemic at home?
All right. For this, I'm ready. For this, I'm ready. Shivani Susarla, you please get ready. Register yourself to Coursera. Coursera has come up with bundles of certifications, which are now being given free of cost to. If at all you wanted one such kind of an account, kindly contact Kasu ma'am through her if you can come forward. I'll also help you giving some free account for another 1 month time. Until September 30th, we have Coursera, which is giving opportunity. So there are variety of certifications. A certification that is designed to teach us how to make email writing well. And there is another variety of certification, how to teach online, how to learn online. These are some of the certifications which help, which are the need of the hour of this pandemic situation. Thank you.
And I think you might have heard about Udemy, right? Udemy is
Udemy.
It's a great. Udemy is also an amazing site where you can learn pretty much anything you want.
And edX is there, and then there are a lot of webinars are happening. There is a question also here. One gentleman was asking, is there certifications that are taken from webinars is okay? So any certificate until you believe it in strongly that your employability skill is developed, any certification, any quiz competition, any competition for that matter, if you can involve in, it will help you, sir. Definitely, Indian mindset is taking an end exam is something very, very appropriate. Similarly, when you put certification in your mind for your employability, always employability can be developed.
Right, sir. Thank you so much. And the next question, what I could see, how to overcome in this competitive world without any industrial knowledge? Any one of you, please.
Yes.
Industrial knowledge. Yeah, I think as Vasu has already told about some of the capstone projects which are being in vogue in US and other countries, even
Mhm.
similar kind of projects which are being encouraged now in the educational institutions. If at all, you see, AICTE a couple of years ago has mandated all the engineering colleges to follow a separate policy. It has even sent a wonderful internship policy booklet. If at all, teachers come forward to give you an opportunity to work as an intern for around 7 days or 5 days, even if, as Vasu has mentioned already in his talk, if at all a capstone kind of a project that you undertake, you don't wait for somebody to give the opportunity. If you can undertake to develop industrial knowledge, if at all you wanted to make your career goal to work in an industry, come on now, prefer taking up that industry, and then you go work for a day or two, and then develop your industrial knowledge, and then competitively go ahead.
Totally agree with that. So get in touch with colleges. I think if you can ask your college, this is what I need, I'm pretty sure they're going to meet your needs. So yes, go ahead.
Hope this is the time, madam, to Kasu ma'am is under pressure to see that the webinar is to be ended up, as they have another session in pipeline.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Now, I would request Roja Yamla, Assistant Professor of English, to deliver the vote of thanks, please.
Okay.
A big hello to everyone.
Hello.
Namaste, madam. Namaste, madam.
Yeah. I take the privilege to share my vote of thanks. Of course, it is not end session, and this has to go on like this forever because it is the crux of the world now, that is employability and certification. Anyhow, as I've got an opportunity, Roja Lai, Assistant Professor of Lindy Institute of Engineering and Technology, take the privilege to thank the keynote speaker, Dr. Haribabu Tamineni, Professor of English and Vice Principal at Lindy Institute of Engineering and Technology, whom I admire the most because I got an opportunity and I'm being working with Hari sir like past 10 years. How can a great leader can only talk about leadership quality? A great team player can talk about the team skills, and a person can talk about all these things. And it's really a suitable person, resource person you have chosen today, sir. You have made the day really a fantastic one. And I thank you especially from the side of Sanketika too. And the other keynote speaker, Mr. Srinivas Akilla, Mathematics Department Chair and a teacher, Georgia. I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. The 4 C's, what you have talked about, and the video talks a lot. Even though there is a very less time, you made the day and very spruce up. And I thank both of you from the bottom of my heart, as well as from Sanketika Vidya Parishad Engineering College at our English department. In this regard, I thank our secretary and correspondent, Dr. S.V.H. Rajendra, and Principal Dr. Ramji for their support and encouragement. I thank IAAC team, TPO Krishna Kumar sir, Sai Chandu sir for their innumerable support. I thank Cambridge Assessment, Graphics IT Solution, Tech Mahindra Foundations, Kesariya Hindu Wahini Shodhana Educational Research Foundation for extending their helping hand. And I even thank a heartfelt thanks to all the participants, colleagues, friends, and dear students for your enthusiastic participation in making this event very successful. Last but not the least, the coordinator of this program, Dr. Kasu, who has successfully run the show. And from the bottom of my heart, as well as from, I take little lead in from the keynote speakers also, who has done an impeccable task in coordinating the entire program. And I really appreciate the work that Kasu ma'am has done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Roja.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Roja.
Thank you so much, dear Mrs. Roja White, and thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
And the session has come to an end. We have to call for the session. As I said, yeah, time constraints are there. So finally, I would like to thank you, all of you, for devoting your precious time. Basically, our Akhela sir, it's early morning for him. Sorry for disturbing him at this time. And
That's absolutely
thank you
fine.
so much.
We'll ask him to have additional breakfast today. Have some extra
Great.
chili.
Sure. Thank you.
Exactly. So thank you so
Okay.
much for endowing your wisdom and experience and enlightening every one of us. And finally, I would like to say that I would like to thank all the participants for their time. And we are assuring you, like with this keynote speakers and many more who are there with us, we'll come up with a big show next time. And so it's a great participation. So thank you so much, and please follow in the WhatsApp for the certificate as well as the feedback form. So thank you for your time, and be healthy and safe and take care. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Naz.
Thank you. Thank you. Sure. Bye-bye.
Bye.